So I'm doing a voice reading. I'm reading Pink School for Magic, Natalie the Dragon Rider, 6th grade by Cat Gillette. That is me. I am Cat Gillette. I am CatHartliebe. I am CatHartliebe. I use the different pen names for different reasons. The Pink series is young adult, so Cat Gillette will be marked as it because Cat will handle the non-adult series, and they will be handling any nonfiction, like the cookbook is also meant to be Cat Gillette. Copyright, it is set up to be, ebook is set up to be published September 1st, and I will be doing these voice recordings, I don't know. I was thinking weekly, but it's going to depend on when I have the chance to actually do them. My place of residence tends to be loud. It is dedicated to Cyro and his cousins. Should be their cousin. Whoopsies. Thought I fixed that. Their cousin's favorite letter, Uncle L. As a note, any and all mistakes are solely mine. The authors, I apologize for anything I may have missed. Trigger list. This book does have quite a number of triggers. Just because it's not CatHartliebe doesn't mean there isn't triggers listed, and there is a trigger site on the website and in the back of the book. You go to catgillette.wordpress.com/dragonrider6triggers, and you will get the list of the triggers. I do have them in the last page of the book. So be aware before getting involved. So I'm going to read this. Pink School for Magic, Natalie the Dragon Rider, 6th grade, by Cat Gillette. Copyright 2021. Dedication to Sarah and their cousin's favorite Uncle L. As a note, any and all mistakes are solely mine, the authors. I apologize for anything I may have missed. Trigger list is on the last page of the book and on catgillette.wordpress.com/dragonrider6triggers. Chapter 1. Natalie Green. Yep, that's me. Nothing special at all. Or not. My mother is a slave in Borg Castle. Or was. She visited me occasionally before I came to Pink School for Magic. After I came here, we sent each other letters. My mother was more pen pal and occasional friend than parental figure. Why? Why is a slave in school? Why is it I never saw my mother? Even though I was born under the slave stone, my stone glowed bright, too bright for the general public. With the laws against death, even for those too difficult to raise, I was guarded and protected. First, I was guarded in Borg Castle. I couldn't play or clean or cook or do really anything. The only thing I could do was study how to control. It didn't always work. The school offered a safe way to stop me from blowing up the castle. Borg didn't want me, but couldn't get rid of me. I was their slave, or really I was my mother's property. I was forced to go to school just because I was a threat at the castle. The first 5 years offer rare memories. I can recall rubble surrounding me as everyone yelled. I could hear the hope in several. Hope that I had died in my own destruction. Many do. I didn't. I'm this ultra-powerful slave, completely useless until I get my degree. I'm not even worth selling. Just a useless child with too much power. So when my mother died, I lost my connection to Borg Castle. They dropped me, making a statement I was my father's problem now. However, I don't know my father. Mother said nothing about him. Honestly, I couldn't say what my mother's full name was, so searching for my father would be next to impossible. He exists. He has to. Humans aren't created from air. But where is he? Who is he? How can I reach him? Why does any of that matter to me, a small 10-year-old? Because when Borg said she's not our problem, they stopped paying the school. I'm marked a dangerous individual with no backing. Yet, I am nothing more than a child. Even though I'm just a child, I am being kicked out of Pink. I have no way to fight it. I know no one. All the power inside me leaves me distant from the world, not within the confines of society. What will I do now? barely 133 centimeters, a little more than 30 kilos, brown hair, bright blue eyes, and tan complexion, offers nothing to real society. Small for my age and average besides. The only thing special is my magic, and they don't care if I can't pay. Standing in the final room leaves me terrified. Every student ends their schooling here, but not normally as a middle schooler. I had 7 more years, I thought, or really 6.5 being late January. Everyone not currently on duty is here, including the gardener, not that I met him before. Before this semester, I did not have an herbalism class. Even if I did, I can recall the gardener of the past. An old, graying, hunched-over white dude. This young black male is everything different, although the dirt-covered overalls are probably the same. Besides him, although he draws the most attention being the youngest, would be several of the teachers and the administrative staff, all 9 of them. Their colors range as much as their magic does, wand at the ready, probably expecting me to burst into flames or something. I did blow up a castle wing once. The main focus in the room is Headmistress Cassandra. She's covered in all blue. Unsurprisingly, since she's a water fairy. By her tired expression, her time as a fairy has long been over. It could be stress causing the gray hair and wrinkles, or the nearby students from Blue visiting every other day. There's been a lot of issues that I barely notice. Something more is happening around here. And I won't be able to see it. Miss Natalie Green, do you understand what I just said to you? The headmistress has a sharpness to her tone, but it's because I did not respond as she expected. It's like my entire hope got caught in my throat. How does someone speak like this? My age and social status offers nothing. I am worthless to the school. I understand. It's a lie. Understand what? So you shall pack your things and leave before morning. Do you need any assistance? Before I can lie about not needing any help, the gardener steps forward. I glance at him. By his stance, he is coming to my aid. Will I gain help even though I'm not asking for it? Do even slaves get a Prince Charming-like ending? Can I be Cinderella? Is that possible? Excuse me, Headmistress Cassandra. His voice is heavenly, rugged and tough, powerful and smooth, much as if I could run my hands along a river stone. I like hearing it. Or perhaps his words themselves have me drifting off into a dream world. I believe there is some mistake. She cannot possibly be allowed to leave the school. Her power grade is too high. The headmistress puts on her blue glasses and reads from a file, quartz stone that glowed so bright that her leaving its presence made it shatter. She places the paper down and stares at me specifically. And your guardian won't cover your expenses? You even join the library staff during off hours to help pay your way. Quartz stone is slave, one of the teachers comments as if anyone in the room didn't know. King's law says a quartz stone glowing means a slave is marked magical and must receive a magical certificate. That creates a few nods about the room. Then why am I being denied? I shiver. A warm hand clamps onto my shoulder. I look at the gardener. He's saving me, protecting me. His stance is everything. I have a guardian, even if he's not that much older. Not old enough to earn adulthood by age 20. How did he get a job at the school being so young? He should be a student. Or did he already reach 18? He looks younger yet. He doesn't have a mustache even. In my contract, I have a clause. Anyone stated dragon rider by me will receive a second chance. My head fills with his voice. He's saving me. A second chance? The headmistress gapes at him. I expected you to name someone who blows up a tower or burns down the farce, not this. She motions to me, acting as if my existence is unimportant. No matter. The gardener shakes his head, keeping me under his power. I name her Dragon Rider. She qualifies. Are you certain? The headmistress stares at my file further. She purses her lips, reading just a touch. Although a quartz stone shattering is unheard of. The teacher who spoke before nods to the gardener. I second the motion. She cannot be let go so easily. The headmistress stands up, holding her hands out to deny, muttering, Enough! She focuses on the gardener and me. You are being given the rest of the year. If she has acquired a payee by June, she can stay on as dragon rider. But if she doesn't, you will leave alongside her come June. Do you understand? The gardener squares his shoulders and steps forward, releasing me in the process. I take full responsibility for this. Allow me to figure it out. Thank you, Alex. The headmistress exhales, sitting down. Please return to your jobs, everyone. You won't regret this, Cassandra. Alex bows his head and walks out of the room. Others begin filing out, and I'm pushed to do the same. Once out of the office where I thought I was losing everything, I just stand. Lost and confused, a hand grips mine. I stare at it. Such a dark brown in color reminds me of burnt toast or a dark roast coffee. As I look up to spot his eyes, they offer the opposite end of the coffee spectrum. Foolish of me to think of coffee, something I've only seen and never tried. Burnt toast is allowed. I've received second helpings of that before. You look lost. His Riverstone voice, the voice that offered me everything. I'm Cinderella. I was literally saved from being thrown to the wolves. How did this even happen? A slave shouldn't be given such a second chance. Or wait, am I still a slave? Borg no longer owns me. They gave me up. Who can I rely on? What am I qualified as? Am I free? What is freedom? The gardener squeezes my hand as if pulling me back to real life. It seems I'm in a state of shock. Natalie? His voice has my eyes shut. I need to function. Taking a step from him, I force my mask back on. I can do this. I'm not sure what I need to do, but I can do it. What is it I have to do? Who do I talk to? Who would even give me a second glance? How do I gain a sponsor? Alex takes my hand again and walks me out of the administrative wing. There is no reason for me to stand in front of the headmistress's office. I'm no longer losing my place to live. Or will it just be postponed until June? Once outside, my eyes close, feeling the freedom of the wind and air. Freedom sounds distant and scary now, because that's what they truly offered. Freedom from school. I'm not ready. Being dragged by the gardener is half surprising. He draws me to Senior Tower, showing me a place I have little hope of reaching. It's meant for seniors as a way to offer space for work. For lower grade offers a massive sum, they join the Senior Tower as well. My hope living there feels left in the gutter. I'm leaving come June. There is no way I'll manage to find someone to pay for me. A father who doesn't exist won't just show up out of the blue. That's not how it works. I will send a letter tonight. He'll answer shortly. And you shall move here. He motions to the tower for the highest skill or pay in the school. Staring at the tower and gardener, I question his sanity more than believe him. I'm nobody. There is nobody who would care if I'm in a dorm room, 6 to a room, or here. All I really have is power. Power that I cannot control. My spell book is measly. Even if I have gotten everything they taught me so far with them easier than my classmates, I haven't received enough to be considered worthwhile yet. I am not good enough for... Alex puts his finger to my lips, denying me my words. You are too good for such a school as this. As one of the cheapest slaves and the poor come here if they have magical inclination. Either here to paranormal individuals, normally children, the females-only school that commonly attacks budding ladies underestimated school of magic, or to the male equivalent, gentlemen readying for enemy aggressive school of magic. Given the type of student here, it is of no surprise so few reach the final day or receive a magical certificate certifying their abilities as a mage. For you and many others like you, that certificate is required for daily life. You struggle just to live with such a power level. They answer such a concern by tossing you out. You are not the first they have done so to. I picked this school for a reason. Alex stares at the tower. His anger seems almost misplaced. What does he know? I'm gonna stop there for now. Adios.